How's it going, you sexy beasts? We've been given another update to our beloved Planetside 2, and this time it's a big experience bonus for everyone. If you've ever played Battlefield 3, then I'm sure you're more than aware of ribbons awarded for certain aspects of gameplay, and now Planetside 2 will be giving us these delicious XP boosts. I won't cover every single detail addressed in this patch, as there are quite a few. With that being said, I'll cover the major parts of this patch, as well as the changes that seem the most impactful to the game. As usual, I'll post the link to the patch notes in the video description below so you can follow along. So let's go and dive into the 6th game update to Planetside. The largest aspect we are given this patch are indeed ribbons. These ribbons act much alike to the medals awarded to weapons currently, but instead of replacing medals, they work alongside them and affect every aspect of gameplay instead of just weapons. These ribbons will award the player with 250 experience points when the ribbon is completed, and there's plenty of ways to earn ribbons. Getting 10 kills with a weapon will award a ribbon. Reviving 15 players also awards a ribbon. Healing 10,000 points of health awards a ribbon. Repairing 15,000 points awards a ribbon, and getting 20 assists while piloting a vehicle will award a ribbon as well. This yields players much more experience alongside kills, completing objectives, and facility captures. Also, players can gain a bonus 500 experience for gaining any type of ribbon for up to 5 instances of bonus experience per day. There's no limit to how many ribbons you can achieve per day, only a limit on the additional bonuses from ribbons. If you're curious on how many ribbons you've accumulated, you can go to your profile, stats, and view every aspect of combat and gameplay, as well as how many ribbons you've accumulated for weapons, tools, vehicles, and everything else. And that's a lot of ribbons. Next thing up is the new alert system, which adds a new layer of strategery into the game. This is SOE's step up toward adding a meta layer of strategy into Planetside 2, where previously it was just a constant territory swap, and the only goal to work toward was certification points. With these server-wide alerts, players have a very large goal to proceed to conquer. Its first implementation is the continent capture mechanic, where a large display will appear at the top right of your screen or at the bottom of your score screen when you press your tab key, or when you first log in and it's going on, it'll be like, yo, what up? There's a big alert going on. So continent capture will focus on one of our current continents, and will have the crazy goal to completely capture all of the continent's locations. If you fully capture the continent within the time allowed, which is usually about 2 hours, you'll be awarded a large sum of experience. The first time that I had encountered this, the grand total of experience reward was 10,000 experience points, and you also get a 20% bonus experience just for participating. So if you're on the continent at the time of the alert, everything you do will get 20% more experience for doing it. If no faction is crowned victorious after the time allowed, then the total territory control percentage will be yielded to the faction. Meaning if a faction owns 50% of the territory at the end of an event, then that faction will receive 50% of the grand total reward. Next up, a lot of weapons have been changed, particularly aimed at shotguns and new conglomerate max units. All shotguns that had previously dealt 143 damage per pellet, such as the pump action shotguns, have had their pellet damage reduced to 134. Semi-automatic and fully automatic shotguns have had their rate of fire decreased slightly. As for the max units, nearly all of the shotguns available have been nerfed by rate of fire being reduced, projectile speed being reduced, magazine capacity being lowered, and reload times being increased. Thankfully, no pellet damage or pellet quantities have been altered. Finally, Phalanx defense turrets have gotten a very big buff this patch, both in regards to weapons' offensive capabilities and survivability as well. The anti-vehicle Phalanx turret has its minimum damage increased, projectile speed increased, and now has its projectile flight characteristics to match the Vanguard tank's default cannon. The anti-personnel turret had its damage type changed from personal weapon to a heavy machine gun. With this new damage type, the anti-personnel turret will be able to damage heavily armored vehicles such as Sunderers and main battle tanks. Presumably, the anti-personnel Phalanx turret will act much akin to the M20 Basilisk turrets that come standard on Sunderers. Last but not least, Nanite Systems has released yet another weapon this patch, the NS-15M. This is Nanite Systems' take on the light machine gun weapon class, which features a medium damaging round, average fire rate, and a 55 round magazine capacity. Most likely derived from the new conglomerate's GD22S, the NS-15M comes with a higher fire rate, lower recoil, and lower bullet damage in comparison to the GD22S. This weapon is probably trying to fill the role of assault rifle type light machine guns, instead of most LMGs being the typical ammunition hogs. I haven't played around much with this LMG, but I'll more than likely review it for your viewing pleasure. So there you have it, you sexy beasts. Game update number 6 in all of its glory. This patch is heavily focused with giving a type of end game goal, or something much larger to conquer than just an amp station or getting a lot of kills. Seems to me that Sony keeps pushing Planetside 2 in the right direction while listening to its community, which is rather rare of game developers nowadays. So how are you guys liking the patch so far? Have you tried out a continent capture event yet? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what I can improve upon. Want to see more videos like this? Then go ahead and subscribe. It's free.